Sales. Got a list from a dealership that checked this car out, gave her $1,400 estimate, and she brought it into us to make sure that the list was accurate. So I checked it out, and sometimes it's a matter of opinion, sometimes it's just bad or not bad. So her main complaint was the noise, and I determined the water pump was making a noise. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Definitely making a noise. So we know that's their problem there. But once you brought it in for that, they found everything else wrong with it, except for that. Started out with the bushings on the sway bars. This is the sway bar here. Goes in through that bushing. It's got a little bit of play. Nothing is going to cause any damage, any clunking, any noise, nothing. Absolutely nothing. The second thing they got on their list, mind you, this was a $1,400 estimate, was the sway bar links that connect to the sway bar. Absolutely see nothing wrong with them. Boots are good yet. They're not loose, don't make any noise. You know, maybe matter of opinion on the bushings, but not the sway bar links. One of the other things on the list was control arm bushings. I don't know if you can get in here and look there. They look like new to me. Again, not really a matter of opinion. There's one over here. Not sure if you guys can see it. It's in between here, but it sure looks good. There's no movement. I checked for movement. Both sides are the same. They gave an estimate on both sides. The other thing was rack and pinion. Typically on a rack and pinion, you only have three things can usually go wrong. Outside tie rod ends will be loose. Inside tie rod ends will be loose. They're tight. I checked both sides when the wheels were on. And if they leak, and I don't know if you can tell here, but it's all rust. There's no leaks at all. So I'll double check with the customer, make sure she don't have any steering issues, but she didn't mention anything about it. On down our list, we go back to rear brakes. Here's the front brakes on it, just to let everybody see. These are almost new pads. Somebody put new wheel bearings in this thing, and it looks like new brake pads. So that's what a new pad looks like right there. I don't know if you can see the thickness of it. This one's probably on the rear about half of that. The problem is on these vans, so you can see the pad there. It's about half of the other one. You'll go through 2 to 3 sets of front brake pads before you'll go through a set of rear ones. So typically on this vehicle, the next time it needs front brake pads, it'll probably need rear ones. But definitely not now. Again, maybe a matter of opinion. But those are good for a couple of years, maybe 3, 4, 5 years. Who knows? A lot of rust on this vehicle, but no other safety issues. One of the things we did find when we were taking it apart was we took a couple of lug nuts off. Went to try to get the other lug nuts off. These 3 lug nuts are still tight. We couldn't get them loose. There's the wheel. Somebody stripped them out and never tightened them all the way. So it's literally held on by 2 lug nuts on the rear. This lady drives kids daycare around all over the place to parks and museums and stuff. So I can't let her take it tonight. But just so people are cautious, get a second opinion. Whether it's us or somebody else, take it somewhere and get a second opinion. We've seen a lot of this lately, especially for whatever reason. I worked at dealerships and we would never have done that, but just beware.